are you doing? I'm Martin from Gardens for Life and Birdland Homestead. In this video I'm going to bring you around to show you our gardens. So this is a 1.5 acre garden and we are going to give you a tour now. The sun has just disappeared behind a cloud. These are the Jerusalem artichoke, that's white fusau, white truffle and red fusau. Going to take care of the entrance just a little bit. And you can see comfrey and raspberries and willows in the background, forming a fairly nice windbreak, and it's blocking a lot of the wind here now, even though you can see the trees that are far away. It's very windy, but here in the garden it's not too bad, because we have a wall on one side, just here, a stone wall, a tall one, and we have the willows on the other side, so it's ideal. Oh, what are you doing, Nina? Hello. Are you wrestling? I'll leave you to it. So here you have a few different types of garlic. We have some aronia berry here. Take a look at it. It's actually putting on fruit now. It was actually flowering about a few weeks ago now, just around the same time as the flowering currant. So this area here is actually new. There's been a lot of changes in the last month and a half in the gardens here. I've been working tirelessly. Well, I wouldn't say tirelessly. I've been working somewhat hard to expand the gardens. So this area here is not finished yet. So I'm just starting with compost, and I'm going to plant some mashuas and different flowers and probably a few vegetables in here, just at the edge of the forest garden, or the woodchip island as it's formerly known. And all these old pots here, some old potted plants, a few of them were worth saving, but a lot of them will be just end up in the brush pile. And they were all here, so I'm not going to bother with that anymore in this particular area. Here I'm growing a few different varieties of willows and some Jacob's ladder. The bees absolutely love it. And I've been told by somebody who keeps bees yesterday, that was here at the gardens, that there must be a beehive within 500 meters of the garden here, if there's bees. Take a look at this. Comfrey. And the rhubarb is just towering. It's huge. Take a look at that. That's Glaskin's perpetual, and it also has gone to seed. Some of the plants we let them go to seed. We're going to harvest some of those too. Are you ready for the top secret part now? The new part? Well, it's not really top secret. I just haven't published it yet. I've not shown you guys what it looks like here yet. So here we put on compost. I'm going to rake that out flat and then plant things here. And this is what it's going to look like. These are actually courgettes now. And this is the new garden. If you've seen any of the videos that I put out lately, starting a no-dig garden, or how to start a no-dig garden, this is the one that was actually being built. It's going really well. Everything is growing anyway. I've filled it out with plants, and I'm hoping that I'm going to get a canopy. It's bronze fennel here, marshmallow plants, yacon, oca, rhubarb, beetroot, all the good stuff. Gooseberries that I grew from cuttings, some lettuce. This lettuce is really good when you eat it from the garden fresh. And strawberry mint, another new form of oxalis that I got from our friend in Bull on Ark. Highly recommend you look them up if you live near Loughrea, or just look at their videos on our channel. It's a market garden. These are garlic chives. And we have some corn planted over here too. Still looking a bit sad, but I'd say it'll take off eventually now. And lots of parsley, bits and pieces planted here. Lots of great mullein also. Going to give you guys more updates on this garden. We do have a 7 video playlist on our YouTube channel and on Odyssey. The videos are available too. And on our website, So you can look at the videos if you want to see how this garden was made step by step, from actually smothering the grass below and adding the compost and making the paths. It couldn't be easier. No-dig gardening is very easy. If anyone else tries to tell you that it's complicated, it's not true. So here, I'm not finished yet. I'm going to cover this with more compost and wood chips. Now this part here, I'm not going to deal with these weeds. So all I do is I cover them with a sheet of plastic temporarily, maybe for about a month or two. I'm going to get some more rocks after a while. All these pumpkin plants along the edges, you see these ones here? All these pumpkins here, they're all a few Turk's turban pumpkins, but also a few Roshiki kuris. So they will hopefully grow onto the plastic like I've done before. If you haven't seen my pumpkin video from 3 years ago, I would highly recommend that you do, because growing pumpkins is very easy, especially at the edge of the garden, and you can just have your pumpkins grow onto plastic where you're smothering the weeds next to the garden anyway. So I'm hoping that from both sides we're going to get cover here. And I think that's going to be enough space for all those pumpkin plants. There's actually a good few of them over here too. There's a valerian plant. Smells really good. Oh yes, my favorite smell of all the flowers here. And you can see here, this is what it's all going to look like in the end. It's all going to be covered in wood chips. And even this part here, that's going to be probably year 2 to 3. This is year 1 at the moment, so we're going to grow lots of green plants in this garden, less woody plants for now. Next year is a lot more berry bushes and things like that, and more perennials. And then in the 3rd year, it's going to be all covered in wood chips, just to reduce the weed pressure. Here we have a few plants back here. Also starting to cover this area here with wood chips, because then I have to deal with a lot less weeds. Sorry for the low laying sun. I didn't get a chance to make a video any earlier in the day. Hopefully you can see everything okay. The paulownia tree right here. It's going to be huge this year. Look at that. And John down the road from where we live, you will know if you're watching who you are. You have 2 paulownia trees in pots, and this is what happens when you plant it. This is year 3 now. This has been planted here, I think 4 years ago now, so it's 4th growing season it's going into now. And it's only starting now. I have no idea how big this tree is going to get, but it's going to look lovely. It's very exotic with its leaves, especially when we're a little bit later on in the growing season. And hopefully we'll get some flowers. Some of these years it's a foxglove tree or paulownia, so it has lovely flowers. Now just go this way. So I have all these fences around our gardens to keep the dogs out, just so the dogs don't go running into all of the new plants. You can see them here. It's electric, but it's not actually turned on. There's no energizer. It's just they never actually needed it. It's just that it's good wire and it's not flexible, so it doesn't stretch. It's ideal now, and I found it to be really efficient to use. It's really just to create some sort of a little barrier for the dogs to know not to go in. You can look at the oca plants. They're getting bigger now. Still a few available on the website now, but very few. If you want to grow oca this year. This is the fresh compost. This was only delivered a couple of weeks ago, and you can see the bits are very big now yet, and it hasn't broken down properly, so it's going to be very acidic as well. And there's actually a bit of mold in it too at the moment, but that's all going to dissipate, and it's all going to break down as it ages and improves. The soil life will improve it, and it's only going to get better. This is compost, the same compost actually, from the same place. And this is about, when was that, December, so 7 months old. So it's pretty good, and we can grow in that straight away. It's a lovely evening. And this video here, we could make this video 2 hours long, no bother at all. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you if you're still watching. Hopefully I'm not boring you. But look at these. Black lace elder. Beautiful pink flowers. Look at that. We have about 5 or 6 varieties of elder trees now, and lots of currants. White currants, black currants, red currants, pink currants, all kinds. And the Jerusalem artichokes are huge. Look at them. They're already about 5.5 feet tall, maybe $1.60 or so, $1.70. They're going to grow to about 3 meters, I'd say. And they're tuberous sunflower, for those of you who don't know. And they're one of our favorite, actually, vegetables, and the easiest vegetable you can grow. You can just stick the tubers in the winter time, you dig them up, and you can stick the tubers in the ground where you want more of them. And then you're going to get small little sunflowers at the very end of the season on these. But then at the next winter, you can actually harvest the tubers. You don't have to, you can. So if you don't want to harvest them, you can leave them, and the tubers will still be there for you any time of the winter or every consecutive winter. I've really been battling with the creeping buttercup, and look at this. It's been making seeds here. Look at these seeds here. Don't want that now, but I've done pretty well, I believe. What we'll do is we'll go back around this way. This is Taunton Dean kale. It's really beautiful, it's purple. And it tastes pretty good too. I like to eat it as it is. Pretty good. Take a look at the amount of berries here. Look at that. One branch of a blackcurrant bush. And many more. We're definitely expecting a big berry harvest this year. In this area here, we're growing some great mullein here. It's very soft leaves. The hairs are actually to protect the plant from drying out, especially on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that there. It must be a arid climate plant, I guess. Somewhere very dry, but it's a European plant. Here's all the alliums, the onions, that's potato onion. The orphrey. We have Egyptian onions. We have lots and lots of elephant garlic too. And can anyone guess what that is? It's not nettle, it's a catmint. And another variety of elder. That's chocolate marshmallow. It's lovely. So what we'll do is we'll just go back around this way. There's so many places I could take you here. And because the sun is low, I'm trying to keep the lighting on one side. We've got all these Jerusalem artichokes. There's 5 varieties here. And they're all good. They just have different colours and shapes. These are Josta berries. Josta berries have a really different flavour from black currants and gooseberries, but they're a mix of the two. And in my opinion, they taste a bit like pineapple, but I'm not sure about that. Maybe if any of you guys have ever eaten Josta berry, you can tell me what you taste. Look at this grass here, going to seed. I do need to take care of that, because 1 year's seeding is 7 years weeding, isn't that right? I'm paying the price now. This area was completely full of grass. You can see this pile used to be about twice that size, and I just basically pulled it all up and just threw it on a pile. So I'm going to probably just put on cardboard here and wood chips on top. And here are some of the apple trees that we grafted 2 years ago now. A few of them here. I might plant them elsewhere next winter. Here are all comfrey plants in the corner. And the bees absolutely love it. More berries here and raspberries that I did not plant. So who knows what variety is going to come up there. If it's any good, we'll keep it. These are all not corn plants, they are elephant garlic plants. Our allium sale is still going on. If you want to go to our website and take part of the pre-sale. Next month we're going to be harvesting all our alliums, all the garlic and onions, and we're going to sell them. These are marshmallow, really soft. They actually, I read, are good for thickening a soup as well. But you wouldn't want to put too many leaves into it, and you wouldn't want to eat it on its own, but with some other leaves, apparently it's nice if you mix it. This area here is just a wall garden. We did set it up about, it must have been 4 years ago now. And probably about 3 years ago. This area here was basically all garden beds, but now it is a bit chaotic, but at the same time it's beautiful because we've got all kinds of different awesome plants here, like lemon balm, Tontandine kale, valerian, marshmallow, all the different currants, giant oriental poppy, and lupin. And what do you think? Levi, what do you think? Good boy. We also have some Japanese wineberries, and they are so nice to eat. It's like a tiny sticky raspberry, and it tastes different. And lots of elephant garlic. I pulled one up here yesterday when I was given a tour of the garden. This one's very small yet. I just pulled one up beforehand, before it's ready. So I pulled one up from here, and it was one of those ones that was left in the ground for more than 1 year. And it'll grow bigger yet. This area here has been freshly cultivated. I killed off the weeds last year, or since last year I should say. I've been planting some ochas. You see them here. And it's a bit of a kind of a very sheltered spot, I guess, because the black currants are on this side and the aronias, and what an amount of berries there are. Magnificent. Take a look at that. It's be probably a kilo of berries for every 3 branches or so. I don't know, but it sure is a substantial harvest. Hopefully we'll get to eat some of them and the birds won't eat them all, but if they do, that'll be okay. We have other berries to harvest too, that they won't know the difference, because they're going to ripen either green or yellow. Well, if you want to, we can take a look in here into this little jungle. This is the wood chip island, as it's known as. That's the first garden that was installed here. There's actually a pear tree and an apple tree right there. It's kind of leaning over to one side though. I'm a little bit worried about that, but for now it's okay. We don't stake trees, by the way. Let's take a look through here. A little bit of a jungle here. This is actually the first tree that I ever planted here, and that's an oak tree. You can see the leaves here. It's the most significant tree here, I guess, because it's the only oak, but also because it is the first tree I planted here a very long time ago. I think it was about 6 years ago at this stage, maybe even longer. And take a look, it's now very, very tall. And the goji berry bushes that I planted all around it at the bottom here have climbed up it and are using it as a trellis, and it's making a really good hedge, as you can see here. There's lots of little areas where the kids and the dogs go running around, and they're always having a great time here. Let's walk through this raspberry jungle. Again, we're going to get a lot of aronia berries. Maybe I'll make some wine this year if the birds leave us with a few. Last year we didn't get many, but they were nice. You can eat chokeberries or aronia berries if you grow the right variety. And here is actually a comfrey patch. There's some weeds that I'm going to get rid of because I don't want them going to seed and spreading. This is a gummy berry, I think it is. I believe. We do have 2 gummy berries here, but I don't think they made it. Don't think they did very well. I cannot think of what plant that is now. We'll have to wait until it flowers again. But here we have some special varieties of mountain ash, and these are meant to be sweet. It's a sweet variety of mountain ash. Nice. This area here is our American elderberry trees, and I'm very excited about getting a bigger harvest. There's flowers already. Huh? From midsummer until the end of October, we're going to get flowers from these elderflower or elder trees, American elder trees. And European elder only flowers for 2 or 3 weeks, right around ending. I mean, only starting about now. We're halfway through the flowering cycle, I believe. So the beginning of June, pretty much, it starts. This is another Paulonia tree, and we have 2 of those here. I'll go through here. This is actually not the path. There is no path in this particular part, but here is the path. We could have come back around from here. But look at the wood. Hello, Nina. How are you doing? Dog. The dogs love running around here in the garden, catching rodents. Look at this. These Paulonia trees have become quite substantial, even though the frost really knocked them back when they were younger. But they came back, and last winter, even though the winter previous was -8 °C here, and yeah, they did not suffer from that. The wood is fine, even above ground wood was okay, even though that was the hardest freeze we've had here for a long time. These are again aronia berries. There's quite a few of them around now, but when they were only small, it took them several years to develop to this size now. This is a substantial berry bush now. You could get several kilos of a harvest from it if you wanted to, if you were bothered to collect them or even get them before the birds get them. Would give it another 4 weeks or so, and this is going to be a jungle. You'd hardly even be able to walk through here. And this is a special variety of jostaberry. It's Cassel. It's a French variety, and it's really nice. And look at all the green wood we're getting here. Huh? That's a lot of wood. We can use all that just to start some more cuttings. We can also use the older wood, but the fresh wood would be better. The soft wood or even semi-hard wood. After midsummer, after the 21st of June, all the woody plants actually have a 6-week period when they turn woody. So that's green wood now because I can bend it. You can see it doesn't break, and it'll be semi-hard wood until the end of the season, from about the end of August, I'd say. Actually, mid-August. This is sea buckthorn. Need to propagate that more. We've got a couple of varieties there, males and females. There's a birch tree that planted itself, and I like it, so we'll keep it. Plus we get bushcraft material from it. Look, you can get tinder for starting fires, which is always handy. Plus it's actually a really nice tree. I don't mind if it grows here. Got to get rid of all these plants in pots and cuttings here. We'll get to it. So that pretty much concludes the tour, but do you want to see the greenhouse too? Well, let's take a look at it for a minute. Take a look at that now. We have a nice area here to sit down. We might actually host a work day someday. If any of you are interested, please email me at contact@gardensforlife.ie if you're interested in helping us out here in the garden on whatever kind of gardening projects we'll do. Maybe you can even make suggestions, because we've always got lots of bits and pieces to do here. From planting to weeding to making new gardens and cutting things back, or maybe even propagating plants. These are our figs. They're doing very well now. We have several varieties of figs, and the brown turkey is certainly the biggest. It's probably the most cold tolerant. This salt bush, I need to cut that back. It's actually suffocating a lemon verbena plant that's right here, and I don't want that to happen. And the grape plant too. Oh, look at that. Is that a fig that's ripe? No, it's gone moldy actually. Look at that. It's the right colour, but it's not ripe, not this time of year. It's too early. Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait to have some fresh figs. It's going to be awesome. If you've never eaten a fresh fig before, try to find some somewhere as fresh as possible. Even if they're from a supermarket, if they're soft, if they're really, really soft, they should be good. This is Desert King, I believe. Actually, that's brown turkey too. Desert King is in the back there. Here we have nothing going on at the moment because we have plants going in the other greenhouse. These are some great mullein seed stalks, and take a look. So all you have to do is put them in a black bag and just thresh them around, and then you get all the seeds. Take a look at that. And you get these seeds here. Each of those little seeds will make a new plant that's going to have a seed stalk, like a flowering stalk like this, after 2 years. Well, in the second year. In the first year it only makes a rosette of flowers, leaves, and those leaves are extremely useful for tea, actually, for the lungs. So this is the little nursery area here, and we have some compost too. These are all various different types of plants. This is some 1.5-year-old mushroom compost, and I'm using that for potting up plants, and a few pumpkin plants to grow over the backside of that compost pile. Why not? Utilize the space. I don't want the grass seeds to come from here to here though. That way I have to keep it covered. Alright, thanks for watching the video. If you want to see more of it, please subscribe and take a look at our website. You can support us by going to our Patreon page and joining there, or our membership program, or just give us a thumbs up, or you can find some bits and pieces for sale on our website too, like plants, tubers and cuttings. Thanks a million, and we'll see you the next time. Bye bye.